I am very excited about because I've seen the trailer and I'm all set to watch the whole movie. My eyes.
It's going to be available now on Amazon Prime. It's like almost like a love letter back to the eye care industry, back to, my family.
Already difficult. You have done multiple things from acting to writing to an optometrist to producing, shifting into this movie industry. Where did this journey all begin? Salvador Dali once said, "A true artist is not one who is inspired, but the one who inspires other." Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nerdy Optometrist, a podcast channel for all things optometry. And this is your host, Ukti Vora. Before we dive into this another amazing episode, please don't forget to follow my channel and catch all the episodes on your favorite platform. Today, I have a very unique guest, which I feel is like one of its kind that I've ever had a chance to interact and like capture this story, which I'm sure would be very interesting for me and all my nerdy audiences and my listeners. So I'm really excited to welcome a very talented artist who is trying to kind of make sure that eyes are becoming the focus within the world. So let me just get started with introducing very talented Susan Chambers. She is a former senior executive turned actor, writer, and producer, passionate about telling powerful stories that raise awareness of important social issues. Named of IEF magazine's Rising Talent list and the AA 122 list for her cultural impact. She sits on the SPA Council and several industry diversity committees. Her award winning features, Unsound, was released on Netflix in Australia and New Zealand and Fuse TV in the USA, while her multicultural action drama Suka aired on Channel 9 and was a top pick on Prime Video. And not to mention her latest film, which I am very excited about because I've seen the trailer and I'm all set to watch the whole movie, My Eyes. It is going to be released in cinema across Australia and USA in 2025. And I'm here with the person who had this whole vision, who is acting in it, like to learn so much more about what inspired her to talk about everyone's favorite topic. I'm sure all my listeners' favorite topic, eyes. So, with that, I'm really excited to dive into this episode and a very, very warm welcome, Susan, for to this nerdy family.
I love it. Thank you so much, Ukti. This is amazing. I love this whole nerdy optometrist, being an optometrist myself. So look, I really appreciate being here. Thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, well, from optometrist to becoming an artist, I mean, it feels like, it's already difficult to kind of accomplish something in one profession. You have done multiple things from acting to writing to an optometrist to producing. I mean, you've done it all. So let me understand. Where did this journey all begin? From being an optometrist to shifting into this movie industry. Tell us about that journey.
Oh yeah, look, I mean, I think I'm that typical cliche. Being Asian myself, our our mothers and fathers, that generation, weren't quite supportive of the arts, right? And so what happened was that after year 12, I got into medicine. I actually got also into full-time musical theatre, but I wasn't allowed to obviously do the arts, right? So I went, okay, well, I'm gonna, you know, well, if I have to stare at the human body all day long, what would it be? And I went, it's got to be the eyes. It's the windows to the soul. Even with entertainment, it's all about the eyes. When you look at, watch TV or movies, right? You look into their eyes and you see everything there. So anyway, that's what happened. And it wasn't obviously until later, once I had, my children, then I went back into it and I just went, oh, I wanted to do something for me as well. And yeah, and here we are, essentially.
That's fabulous. I mean, being an accomplished optometrist and then after kids, I'm sure sometimes people just struggle to just stay afloat and you decided to follow your passion. That's That's inspiring to begin with. So thank you for inspiring from like, first question that I asked you.
Oh my gosh, I think you got to follow your heart, right? Like it's hard, it's challenging, absolutely, but your soul, I'd rather my soul be alive, I think. That's probably the main thing.
That's wonderful. So tell me a little more about this movie. I've seen a trailer and I will be dropping the link of the trailer in the description so for people who want to check it out. I think it's
hmm
very touching, very beautiful. But tell me about your story behind my eyes because I know you've done other movies on other different topics. How did my eyes happen?
Yeah, well, my eyes actually is inspired by events of my life when I volunteered at the Paralympic Games in Sydney, Australia in the year 2000. I was an optometry student in third year, and by chance, I ran into the judo athletes in the Paralympic Village, and all the judo athletes are actually vision impaired. And we just got off, we just hit off so well, and I ended up falling for one of them, actually. No joke, that's actually what happened. And obviously, it was such a profound experience for me that I just had to write about it 20 years later, right? So, but obviously, we dramatized it, okay? So obviously, but I do look at my eyes being, it's like almost like a love letter back to the eye care industry, back to, my family. It's all a lot about love and family love and different generational relationships. And yeah, and anyway, I just wanted, I thought because of my public health background, which I'm very, very passionate about, I wanted to also raise awareness about eye care, right? And about preventative, um, yeah, eye conditions. So anyway, yeah, so I kind of mixed both together. That's essentially how it happened.
Ah, that's wonderful. So I know you did mention that, you did dramatize it, and of course, all movies are
hmm
inspired somewhere, but then it is dramatized. But
Yeah.
tell me about how does my eyes help the eye care industry? Because you mentioned it was like your way of, also contributing to the industry. How can people use this movie to talk about eye care, talk about eyes in general, talk about like, these conditions which you kind of highlight through your story? So tell me a little more about that.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, we've got to remember this, it's an entertaining story. And I guess the main thing, what I call the work that I do, I call it impact entertainment. We're trying to make an impact, but entertain at the same time. And I find that movies and TV, they're really quite powerful. If you want to actually impart something, um, subtly, I guess, throughout. Because in my eyes, we've got have an optometrist. Oh my gosh, we actually have an optometrist in a movie. And the daughter has, they discover she's got a vision impairment, which is RP, retinitis pigmentosa. And they discover through the testing that the husband's not the real father, is actually the judo guy she hooked up with 12 years ago, right? Who's the actual father. And all that drama with that, and them having to go find him because if he donates the stem cells, they could potentially save the daughter's vision. Obviously, we had like some of my best friends, obviously ophthalmologists, and we did a lot of consultation on this script as well. So, clinically, it's more retinal gene therapy rather than stem cell therapy. But again, it's just, uh, just making sure we balance that authenticity, with actually
Yeah.
making sure the story works. So, it's just subtle things, like we actually see a slit lamp on screen, like we see a phoropter, we see, a duochrome chart. But it's more about the focusing on what's possible and focusing on ability. It took me 12 months because I really wanted to find someone who actually had a vision impairment to play the role of the judo guy because that's what he was in real life, right? So in real
Mm-hmm.
life, he was albino, so obviously he had nystagmus, couldn't see. So obviously, I didn't want to give myself a casting problem. So I didn't obviously go for someone who, you know, who had exactly the same thing. But I was really lucky to have the support from the International Blind Sports Federation, and they
Mm-hmm.
introduced me to all the judo athletes, Paralympic judo athletes around the world, and their coaches. And fortunately, Eduardo Avila Sanchez, who is actually Mexican, he's a real life judo Paralympic champion. He won gold twice and bronze at the Tokyo Olympics. He responded to my Instagram message. Like I kind of stalked him on Instagram and went, "Hey, did you want to be part of a movie?" And he replied eventually, thinking, it was a complete scam. But we ended up talking, and yeah, we ended up doing acting training, obviously, and audition for the role and everything. But he's amazing. So um, he acts in the film. We've got a real life judo Paralympic champion. He's got tunnel vision. And the thing is, what's really interesting, and this is the thing about preventative eye health, is that when Eduardo was young, like, less than, 5 years old, he had an accident off when he was playing and just landed on his head, on the back of his head, which is where the visual cortex is. And, kids fall down all the time, right? You don't think about it. But obviously, it was quite severe for him enough that it caused this clinical blindness, right? With the
Mm-hmm.
damage there. The thing is, it was undiagnosed. No one knew about it, which means that his first few years in his life, basically, he had the tunnel vision. He was clumsy. He got teased at school. Can you imagine having that condition and not knowing about it and thinking because he's so young, it's normal? It wasn't until he was probably maybe about, I don't know, 6 or 7, something like that, where his teacher actually said to his mom, "Your son, he's different. Something's wrong with him. There's something not quite right. You need to go t take him to a doctor," right?
Mm-hmm.
That is when they discovered he had the tunnel vision, and then it completely changed his life. He got into judo and became this amazing champion, right? And worked really, really hard. And so underlyingly there, the messaging is, guys, get your eyes tested. I mean, in the world, there's, a billion people have preventative vision loss. Preventative meaning if they only got their eyes tested, it could be, there's a solution for that, right? It could be fixed. Whether
Yeah.
it just be glasses, I don't know, right? So that's that underlying thing that we see through this family real relationship story, right? Um, so yeah, so there's a few things in there anyway that I kind of infused.
But I think that's beautiful. I mean, I actually want to highlight a couple of things that you shared, starting with the fact that you highlighted that you made sure that the story, while it's entertaining, it's also authentic. So you did have consulting ophthalmologist and like eye care professionals who would
Mm-hmm.
help you validate. And you are an optometrist yourself, so you made sure that
Mm-hmm.
it's not just all, yeah, let's fix the eye through a slit lamp. You know how
Mm.
some funny scenes are like, okay, yeah, now you can see, like remove the bandages,
Yeah, no,
like,
no,
yeah,
no.
you're beautiful. Like, those
Yeah.
those kind of fakeness is something that you prevented. And the fact that you're highlighting very important point, even in 2025, I'm sure we struggle a lot. Talking about preventable blindness, one eye exam can save so much instead of just labeling
Mm-hmm.
someone clumsy and not taking them to an eye doctor or a doctor to
Mm-hmm.
kind of assess what the problem is. The child could go through so much. They can lose their confidence, they can not impact their
Mm-hmm.
learning, and so much more. So, focusing back on eyes and a simple test, an annual eye exam, which I'm sure our industry is yelling, but still we need different voices to kind of come
Mm-hmm.
together
Yeah.
and push that to the general audience. And I think what better platform than a movie, which is entertaining plus enlightening at the same time. So I am really excited about the fact that this will probably encourage so many people to just go out and get their eye tested. Like, if nothing more, like, that's like just one big
Yeah.
thing that I'm really excited about coming out of this movie. Tell me, I'm sure you would have plenty of stories to talk about shooting this movie. But if I had to ask you, like, your most memorable experience or the most memorable scene that you really enjoyed shooting for this movie, can you tell me a little more about it?
Oh, yeah, for sure. We actually shot this movie in Melbourne, Australia, and Mexico City, actually across two countries. And basically, my favorite scenes to shoot were actually in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
It was, gosh, they just love life. The crew were amazing. Um, there was a scene where myself and Adam Garcia's character, Adam plays the husband, and basically, we were walking along Socolo, which is equivalent of their Parliament House. It's just beautiful, beautiful, location. meant to be this whole romantic getting back together thing going on. Anyway, but the thing is in the background, which is typical Mexico, you've got the Aztec drums, like, the indigenous drums going, right? And people dancing on the street, okay? So you've got these boom, boom, like all this loud music in the background. And we're trying to obviously, be like this slow romantic thing and having lines, which obviously you can't record that, right? But it was so much fun. Like in between, takes, all of us were like feeling like dancing because of the drums and everything like that. And it was like, and then it's like, okay, get ready, next one. It's like, oh, and then just we've got to like, but switch, kind of personalities and go, well, okay, well, yeah, let's be romantic now. But that kind of thing that was just, it was super fun, and I'm just in awe. I'm very grateful having, being able to shoot in Mexico.
Mhm.
Again, that authenticity behind the story. We didn't want to fake that, you know what I mean? In Australia, I mean, how can you? It's such a different city, culturally, people, everything. So yeah, we wanted to bring that on screen.
That's actually fantastic that you got an experience of shooting in two different countries, bringing in two different cultures, because I think that's another aspect of, your storytelling that you'd want to highlight different cultures. Being Asian yourself, I'm sure, like, when you were trying to fit into Australia, you have to go through your own journey, and then, we are a lot more attached to different cultures because we can see the beauty of it, and I'm sure you as an artist are able to see that much more. And it's always fun to experience these different things. But I think this is fantastic. I am looking forward to watch this movie, talk about it, promote it. But how can someone watch this movie? Where can they see it? Where is it going to be premiered? We would like tell me a little more about how can we all get to see this movie, My Eyes.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we've just recently had our premiere screenings across Australia and in LA. What's actually now going to be happening is they can find that it depends on which country they're from. So, so basically in the US and the UK, it's going to be available now on Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
So people can go and go and find the movie on there, My Eyes, and watch it. Um, in Australia, it's obviously a bit different. There's going to be some more theatrical releases, in terms of cinemas through there. Um, a big part of what we're also trying to do is, I guess, spread the film out to the education, community. So, the schools, the universities, people were blown away by the film in terms of the impact that we can have from an education point of view, and that's something that we'd like to, outreach, and basically impact as well. There in the US there are other platforms, and then like cable, for example, where it can be found. But definitely Amazon Prime is probably the main one, and hopefully is easier for people to access.
Yes.
But yeah, but it is one of those things where, it's word of mouth. It's, our community getting behind something like this where we can actually make a difference and drive general audiences, into our rooms, right? And to actually seek care, even if it's just a general checkup, annual checkup, like things like that. Getting the conversation started, in schools and having young people also be aware. Um,
Yeah.
because as you were saying, it is rare to see Asian faces on screen, let alone Latino and Asians combined,
Mhm.
as well. So there's that element too. So yeah, but it's yes, it's had a really, really, really good response. So far across the world, regardless of the country, ethnicity, even age. People really, really, I think, surprisingly enjoyed it, and they really, really enjoy the film. So yeah.
I am excited. Luckily I'm in US, so I can watch it. And
Yeah, so you can watch it. Yeah, exactly.
and for all my listeners, for those who are not yet in US or like Australia are not able to see it, but I'll still be dropping the link to the trailer. So I'm sure you can at least watch the trailer and understand what we're talking about. I'll be dropping all the links through which you can access and learn about if it's in the theater near you, or if you can watch it on Amazon Prime, whatever is convenient for you. If you can go to the theater, please do go, because I'm sure that way you can support movies like these, which are important, not just from educational point of view, but also to encourage artists or producers and writers like Sushan, like to kind of create more of these because they're always looking for like the responses, like how many audiences are coming in. So let's all go in and support her and her work and the team for all the hard work they've put in to promote and talk about our favorite topic, our eyes. That's I'm sure we all nerd out on. So let's just support them. And yes, do look out for the description and check out all the links that would be helpful to kind of learn more about this amazing movie, My Eyes. Um, with that, I'm sure we've talked a lot about your movie, your journey, but I want to know a little bit more about who you are. So I'm going to switch
Mhm.
gears and we're going to go to our game segment, which is a rapid fire. Very simple. I'll
Mhm.
ask you a question. Tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Love it. Go for
All
it.
right. So are you ready?
Mhm.
All right. Tell me your favorite destination.
Oh gosh, I would say Egypt, but I haven't been there yet. But it's my
All
favorite
right.
because I want to go.
That's fine. If it's on your like your checklist and you
It
feel
is.
that's
It
your
is.
that's fine.
It's the belly
Tell me
dancing. Got to
something
do it.
that you do outside, your hobby outside, like say writing movies or like being an optometrist. Tell us about your hobby or something you like to do during your downtime.
Oh yeah. One, actually a qualified yoga teacher as well. And secondly, what I do the most, I know, I see your puzzled face. Um, but the most thing I do actually is actually I love paranormal romance books. And so I read constantly all the time, like that genre. Like,
Oh my God. Man, thank you for making me feel like I really need to start pick up more things. Okay. Tell us one thing that people don't know about you.
maybe they do not know that I was a belly dancer back in the day, and I love music, love dancing. hmm
Wonderful. Tell us about your favorite cuisine.
what scene?
Your favorite cuisine?
Oh, okay. So if it's dessert, it's anything with caramel. If it's vegetables, it's eggplant, basically. They're the two. It's really
All right.
Oh, and anything with taro, okay? Taro, love taro. Taro, eggplant, caramel. There you go.
Okay. Perfect. If you were to interview someone, dead or alive, who would that be?
Oh, it'd be Joan of Arc. She's one of my heroines of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and also Aung San Suu Kyi. Again, another one of my heroines. So there you go. It'd be two ladies.
Wonderful. If we were to write an autobiography about your journey, what would you like the title for that book to be?
Oh gosh, that's a full-on hard question. Um, Something about building bricks, I think, and like leaving that legacy, I think. There's something about that. I don't know, that's just what came into my mind,
Yeah,
you know?
whatever first thing comes to your mind. Okay,
I
perfect.
know, I don't I haven't strung that together into a sentence, but this is the gist of it.
All right. Last question. One advice you would give to your younger self.
Oh gosh, I would say back yourself. Have the confidence to just do it, and
Mhm.
just, and that you are enough and just yeah, absolutely. Just know what you want, your goals and dreams and go for it. Yeah.
Wonderful. I think with that, we
Yeah.
definitely know what you love, and we definitely know a lot more about you and all your passion and things that you do. I mean, man, you have given me a whole different to-do list to look at. Like, man, you need to kind of push yourself.
I know. I just like live
But
life,
it's
right? Like it's kind of just go,
But
go.
it's truly inspiring. Thank you once again for sharing your journey, telling us the story, telling us like, your inspiration and inspiring us from the first comment, like my first question. I think it has been fantastic to just like know you and chat with you. I'm really looking forward for all the success for my eyes, and I'm sure it will be successful globally as you keep rolling out to different countries. Good luck to you and your entire team. Before we wrap up, do you have any final message or anything you would want to tell my audience before we sign off?
Oh, okay. Look, guys, thank you so much for listening. Just, continue doing the work that you're doing. It's making a difference out there. Follow your heart and do stuff, even though, yes, we are deemed nerdy, but there's anything else you want to do, do it too. And keep in touch. Really love to hear from you. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you once again for your time. And do check out the description to learn more about my eyes. Good luck and welcome again to the Nerdy family. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.